Ooh, I'll swallow something funny there. All right, guys, what is going on? This is the Club with the Man, 1993, coming at you. Believe that. And we are live, believe that, for my live review of SmackDown Live, the May 15th, 2018 edition of SmackDown Live, believe that. And it took place in the United Kingdom, London, England. Believe that. All right, it's getting a little annoying, but just yes, I am wearing my Shield shirt tonight. I should wear it all day actually. Definitely. I mean, it could have been a little bit better. I felt like this episode of SmackDown Live, but for what we got, I thought for the most part we got a solid show. Definitely a couple little things I was like, about. Like I didn't really care too much for. But just a much better, refreshing show to watch than Raw was. Last night's Raw was just complete garbage. And not just that, I said it just too much content. This felt like, it produced enough. Well, also, it's only, 2 hours. And it felt like a solid 2-hour edition of NXT in ways I say, they advertise matches for, the next week or so. When I don't go every step of every storyline every single week, if you know what I mean. But yeah, overall, I thought tonight's episode, it was definitely, a good episode. Again, not as good as I had probably expected it, but for the most part, I thought it was going to be a pretty solid episode of SmackDown Live. Live chat. Let me see what we got here. We got Hassan. We got Dakota. Better than Raw this week. I sent you a pic of the thing I was telling you about with Rollins and Lesnar. I got to check that out. Yeah, because Raw definitely sucked ass. I agree. Also, Carmella looked gorgeous tonight. Oh, definitely. I'll give her that every night. I guess you could watch Raw from last night to put you to sleep if you need sleep and can't get none. Oh man, yeah, I probably could if I wanted to do that. I mean, that's not too difficult to do at all. Because last night's Raw was just a snooze fest, except for that Owens and Rollins match. That was the only thing that good happened. Believe that. I'm such a nerd. But yes, good point there, Dakota, definitely. But yeah, let's get started with this review of SmackDown Live. Again, it took place in the UK. Again, I'll do 205 Live tomorrow morning, and tomorrow night I'll do my live review of NXT. So let's get the show on the road here. Starting off with Daniel Bryan making his way out to the arena for an interview with Renee Young. Of course, he got a great reaction with the crowd chanting "Yes, yes, yes," and then of course he just kept to cheer for him. He got a great warm reception in the UK, which was great for him. Of course, he asks that if she feels all the energy. He was disappointed. He lost the Greatest Royal Rumble, and of course he doesn't like losing. But when he came back, he was just happy to be back. What he loves. Now that's not enough. He doesn't want to just be back. He wants to be back on top. He wants to eventually, beat WWE champion again. And all of a sudden you hear someone interrupted, like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And who comes out? No other than Big Ass. Big Ass makes his way out. And he says he's been listening to him run his mouth and he's sick of it. He may have all these people fooled, but Cass knows the real truth. His loss to Rusev was supposed to be his first major setback. We couldn't disagree more. Cass claims that he was Bryan's first major setback since his return, since he claims he was the reason he lost to Rusev, and he will keep losing because he'll make sure he never achieves his dreams in WWE again. Yeah, he lost at Backlash, but he didn't tap out because he was in pain. He wanted out of the hold so he could beat Bryan up again, and that's exactly what he did. He's not going to be able to go anywhere to the WWE without a 7-foot shadow following him. He says before he mocked Daniel Bryan's 75-minute Greatest Royal Rumble and asking what happened when he got in the ring with him. He called the American Dragon a loser, mentions the little person he'd be in Montreal, saying that at least that guy took his beating with dignity. He has several questions about Bryan being a loser, that he should have stayed retired, and he should have stayed home and let Brie wear the pants in the family. And the answers, all of them were, as the quote, Big Ass himself, yes, as he said. And of course, Cass stares down Bryan. Bryan's just like, really? You just went there across the line? And he gets into the ring and he turns his back just for a second. And then Daniel Bryan just starts beating the crap out of him. And he gets him in the corner to beat him down. But then Bryan goes to target the recently surgically repaired knee that Cass had returned from injury. And he goes after that. And he goes after it for sure. It's getting paid back because, nobody, not just calls him a loser, but also, no one crosses the line and says crap about his family, especially towards his wife, knowing how great of a relationship they have in real life, of course. And then he, at first they broke it off as Brian's like, okay, I'm cool with it. He got open, he got right back in there and continued to go after Cass's knee. And eventually he did some sick looking heel hook on the knee, and then he's getting Cass to tap out left and right, but he won't let go of it until they break it off. And then finally they break it off. So yeah, I mean, also we're probably going to get another match between them at Money in the Bank. If not, then definitely Extreme Rules, because Cass is in a qualifying match against Samoa Joe next week. So yeah, I mean, I know this feud's not like the greatest thing going right now on the show, but I definitely think it has me intrigued in some ways, definitely. And I do want to see both Daniel Bryan and Big Cass benefit from this feud. So again, I thought this was, just a good opening segment to continue on this feud, and for Cass to, try to cover up him tapping out, saying that he tapped out fast because he wanted to get up and beat the hell out of Bryan again, pretty much, which is what he wanted to do. So he just tried to outsmart him, as he just wanted to make sure he just doesn't care what happens. He just wants to get rid of Bryan, which in some ways he somewhat succeeded, because he weakened Bryan. He was still recovering last week from his loss to Big Cass when he lost to Rusev in the qualifying match. So in some ways, yes, I can kind of get behind that. So I look forward to see what happens when we get to next week and see where it goes from there, as far as what's going on with Daniel Bryan and Big Ass, as I enjoy to call him. Believe that. Let's see, live chat. What do we got here? Dakota, what's your 3 worst things of 2017? Tonight had the best women's qualifying match. Imagine if Ronda won the Raw Women's title. Cass got thumbs down shot. That's annoying. The 3 worst. Number 3, Ellsworth becoming Miss Money in the Bank. Roman's push. Number 2, Roman's push, and number 1 is Jinder's push. And Daniel Bryan beat up that big bully. He did. Things like, hey, this is your life. Corbin cashing in, failing, and Bray losing the title. Those good choices. Yeah, Dakota, thank goodness you forgot about Bayley, This Is Your Life, because again, as I keep saying in defense, I never saw the segment. I forgot. I was out that night doing something, and I just heard how bad that segment was. I mean, I even watched the highlights. Of course, it was edited out of the YouTube clip. I never even bothered to go back and ever watch that segment, because I heard about how bad it was. So yeah, of course, next week, what I'm worried about. Which Sammy better not do something similar to. Do you know that WWE is planting the seeds for a long Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens feud? What? Hope Sami Zayn stays heel for this one, because Owens needs a face turn. People think Owens needs to be a face turn. I mean, maybe, definitely, but I mean, he's still, sucking up to Stephanie McMahon. I do agree that Kevin Owens could be a better heel, I feel. I mean, I think if Kevin Owens turns face, he'll be one of those guys that he does, bad things, it looks like, but he does it to, the people that, to the heels, pretty much, if you know what I mean. Going to be kind of like one of those baby faces whenever he does turn face. But yeah, good points there, guys. But yeah, that was what happened there. And then we had Miz on commentary for this next match. We had the New Day, Big E, and Xavier Woods, just that team, taking on The Bar, Sheamus, and Cesaro in the Money in the Bank qualifying match, where the winner of this match gets to pick one person from their team to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And, I thought this was a solid, back and forth match between these two teams. I mean, I think the match they had, though, at Roadblock ended the line in 2016. The best match of the show by far that night. I would say that was probably their best match they had. This match wasn't too bad either, I thought. And once again, to a surprise, Xavier Woods picked up the pinfall victory, though. So since the New Day won, which I was kind of hoping, I'm not against New Day win, but I was kind of hoping the Bar would win, because I would like to see, Cesaro finally get that big singles push that he's been long needed. Well, in the main event, that is, of course. But, with the rumors of Big E probably turning heel and, separating the New Day and him going on a singles push, I'm cool with that also. Of course, I'm not sure, how they're going to try to decide, storyline-wise what's going to happen, unless, Big E turned heel and attacked both Woods and Kofi with pancakes or something like that. That's a little too ridiculous. But I think that I'm wondering now, if Xavier Woods trying to make an argument being in the match because he's pinned Cesaro. Well, he pinned Sheamus 2 weeks ago, and he was one who got the winning pin tonight as Big E did that scary. That spear still worries me that Big E does. He does it like so recklessly. And it's worries always going to like separate right a shoulder or something like that when he does that. Just my honest worry. But yeah, Xavier Woods gets a pinfall victory, but they didn't announce, who was going to be in the match. But we'll see what happens probably next week, whenever they try to decide who's going to be in the match or whatnot. Let's see here. Sammy is a good heel because he's obnoxious. It's funny though, Sammy even admitted that when he first turned heel, when Vince told him just to smile out there and just be annoying, and he's just like he couldn't believe that he was so right that that is completely him being a heel pretty much. He thought he talked about it in the Talk is Jericho podcast with him and Kevin Owens. One of my favorite episodes of Talk is Jericho. Jericho, Owens, and Zayn, a very funny podcast. I love listening to that podcast. At least have Owens accompany Sammy on this upcoming segment, or they will just have Lashley come out and beat his ass. I completely agree with Sammy's obnoxious heel, but Bobby Roode needs it more. I think so, yes, definitely. Big E was going to attack both of them after they won. I could see it coming also. Before that segment gets even worse, I should agree. That would be a shocker. Big E should be the best heel. He could be. Big E may stay facing Xavier Kobe, could turn attack him, and they have a triple threat for the last spot. I mean, we could do that. I mean, I'm not against any one of the three being in the match. Again, Xavier Woods has improved a lot as a wrestler. Kofi has the experience, of course, and get Big E, could definitely, benefit from the win. Also, build up as a single star. Also, so I mean, I'm not against that idea either. Good stuff, guys. And then we moving on to the Royal Celebration. They have first they have a Bludgeon Brother vignette where they say joy is a disease and a cure is to bludgeon before smashing the cameras with their hammers. So don't know who's going to be facing them next still. We have backstage Paige, looking fine as always, on the phone with Carmella, saying she can't have a horse-drawn carriage and then Mandy and Sonya roll up, and Mandy says her little power trip didn't work last week, said she still beat Becky Lynch, and she thinks she's headed to Money in the Bank. Paige says that wasn't a qualifier, but they need to relax on the attitude, or they're not going to get a qualifier, but they're both getting one tonight. Mandy's like, who am I facing? She goes, and Paige goes, Becky Lynch. And so I was like, oh, who I'm facing? Becky Lynch. And they're like, oh, so it's going to be a handicap match, right? And then Paige goes, no, it's a triple threat match. Every woman for herself. So they're just trying to, push these girls to definitely, do more by themselves than just, what they were before, since Absolution didn't work out due to Paige's career-ending neck injury. But again, if Paige ever got hurt, I was all behind Absolution. Again, I would much rather see Absolution in the Riot Squad. At least, I'm more interested right now in Mandy and Sonya than anyone in the Riot Squad now because of how crappy the Riot Squad continues to be booked as. At least, there's something intriguing going on between them as well, even though, I do think, both Sonya and Mandy, well, more so Sonya definitely needs more time in NXT, in my opinion. But at least, Mandy at least has the look and everything. I think she's already getting some popularity also. But Sonya, not too impressed with her still. But we had that triple threat show tonight. We had AJ Styles being interviewed backstage as to what he'll choose as a stipulation if he wins tonight. He ran off all these stipulations, an inverted scuffled match or a pole match. No, please don't hate those matches. Or maybe a bull rope Hell in a Cell Inferno match. That'd be sick. Maybe with some guard dogs. Renee suggests the referee be dressed as Elvis, but AJ's like, no, that's a little too far. But no matter what he picks, everyone will be entertained but Shinsuke Nakamura. And then he claims to have forgotten English, but Styles knows the international language of forearm to the face. No matter when it is, Nakamura can't beat him in the house that AJ Styles built. Then we had, I skipped a little ahead with the Royal Celebration, but then we had Andrade Cien Almas making his main roster debut, taking on a jobber named Jake Constantino. And he pretty much just beat him in like 5 minutes or less or whatnot. Almas is pretty much just show off what he can do. Afterwards, Zelina Vega got on the microphone saying they were expecting more from SmackDown Live. This is what we get, a pathetic jobber pretty much. Also pathetic as every superstar in the locker room that thinks they can do the same thing. The message is clear. They have come to take over SmackDown Live. As I said before, I wasn't as big of a fan on Andrade Cien Almas at first when he first came into NXT, and they turned him heel. I'm like, okay, but now what? Like, he just looked like just a veteran down there, just putting people over. But then with Zelina Vega by his side again, he got some momentum going, and I definitely really liked what he did, the last year or so in his last run with NXT, and his NXT Championship run I thought was great also. So, I definitely have the faith that Andrade could definitely be a good star on the main roster. You just got to book him properly, of course. So I look forward to see where he goes from here. Maybe he'll challenge Jeff Hardy to the U.S. title, which also I forgot to check that message you told me about Dakota. You told me about Hardy apparently getting injured on a house show. I think it was, or a dark match. Can't remember what you told me, but I don't know. Maybe he'll challenge Andrade for the U.S. title or something like that. I mean, I definitely think Andrade Cien Almas is definitely a good talent not to be overlooked. So I look forward to hopefully see him succeed up on the main roster. Let's see here. Hassan doesn't see Kofi Kingston turning heel, at least Xavier otherwise. Me either, but I never saw Sami turn. Yeah, the Sami Zayn heel turn was definitely a shocker. I saw their asses as I watched the match. Gosh, Hassan. Yes, Mandy Rose's entrance. All I gotta say is, damn! And Mandy can wrestle and Sonya can't. Also, Mandy is so strong to be little. In fact, Alexa's biscuit butt will get these hands as I'm an ass man. Yeah, I'm an ass man. Yes. Oh my gosh, Hassan. Making me think of the episode of Seinfeld. Mandy's entrance is golden, but she better not be all gold everything if Mike knows who I mean. Yeah, I know. Dakota still hates Andrade. Hassan says, I know by fear Andrade won't get pushed, not even with Zelina Vega. At least Cass better win the U.S. title. I mean, Cass winning the U.S. title eventually could be good. Jeff was limping. I really don't want him to be out again. Yeah, I mean, what exactly did he hurt again? I saw your message, but I didn't quite get to read all the details. But what exactly did he hurt again, Dakota? Inform me of that, please. But thanks, guys, for stuff in the live chat as always. Afterwards, we have Rusev Day backstage. Of course, they're celebrating. They're trying to celebrate his win and getting into the Money in the Bank ladder match. And Aim picked out a song he wants to give Rusev a preview to for when he wins the ladder match. But then Lana rolls up and asks him to save his beautiful voice because very soon he's going to have a ravishing new song to sing. Next week, she has a qualifying match against Billie Kay, and she's very excited to crush Billie Kay. Whereupon they will be the first ever Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank. And Rusev says together that they'll rule all of SmackDown Live, which I would love to see that happen, actually. And Lana gives English cue to sing that it's going to be Rusev Day. Of course, the only thing that doesn't make sense to me, though, is the fact that a couple weeks ago, well, not a couple weeks ago, they were teasing a little bit of a breakup between Rusev Day because, they made it seem like that Aiden English was holding back Rusev. So I'm wondering if that's going to be, water to bridge. Forget that happened. It's their continuity issue, but, Rusev's in Money in the Bank, and then Lana's going to shot against Billie Kay, which it's strange because we're getting two heel-on-heel matches unless they're turning Lana babyface style, which I think needs to happen. I think Lana is more meant to be a babyface at this point in her career. Of course, it's the Iconics. I would rather see them be heels. They're greatest heels. And then of course you have Samoa Joe Big Ass also next week, which the promo that Joe cut today. I was wondering if he was starting to tease a heel turn or if it's just just the best thing to do for a heel on heel match. But yeah, so we got that next week. So I mean, I don't know if Lana will somehow pull out an upset victory over Billie Kay or anything, but hopefully maybe this is the start of Rusev finally getting that main event push he definitely deserves. We'll see what happens though. Now we have the celebration. We have some sort of a town crier introduced Carmella in vaguely old timely fashion. We have three men dressed in traditional English army uniforms. Bring out Carmella's title, and then Carmella comes up to her actual music. She asks the crowd to shower her with praise she deserves for the next 10 seconds or so, and London doesn't even, acknowledge it all, to just boo her. She asks what's wrong with you guys, lining up outside a hospital for a glimpse of a royal baby, but not willing to give her the respect she deserves. She starts begging people to bow down before her, before saying they remind her of every single woman on the SmackDown Live roster. None of them think she's good enough to or deserve to be champion, but guess what? Mela is money. Mela is champion, and that makes her better than each and every one in the crowd. Pointing at one point, she pretty much tried to do a bad English accent, going, "Are you better than each and every one of you out in the crowd?" Well, that's my best woman's British accent. Thanks to Harry Potter, I could do a British accent myself. Let's see if I can get it. Let's see here. Harry, what are you doing here today? Nah, that sucked. Anyways, enough of the British accent imitations. But she goes on to say she thinks she's better than everyone. She even mentioned Ronda Rousey and Trish Stratus and Lita combined, and then Paige comes out, which she gets a nice warm reception. I felt she needed to have, some segment, outside. I mean, on in the ring, because we're back in London. I think this is the first time since she returned last November. She's, on a WWE show at all since her return from her long hiatus, maybe. So she got a nice warm reception as well, being home. She said it was great to be back, but she has something to tell Carmella. She said she's better than everyone, and that's quite the proclamation, but he has a proclamation of her own. She's revealing Carmella's opponent for Money in the Bank, and Carmella's like, "I'm not defending my title," but Paige insists that she did, and then we wait. And I can think it was going to be Naomi because, I feel like, Asuka, who needs time to build up a character again. I thought, with Becky Lynch, Becky Lynch did the qualifying match tonight. I thought, Naomi would make sense since, she could, get something out of, winning the women's battle royal, at least, getting a championship opportunity, better to win. But sure enough, out came Asuka. So I'm like, okay, I'm not fully against Asuka getting a championship opportunities. I knew she would eventually get one, in the next couple of months against Carmella. I just feel like it's too soon, though, for Asuka to be getting a title opportunity again, though, because she lost to Charlotte at WrestleMania. And what has she done since? She's barely really been on any show. She was in a tag match with Becky Lynch that they lost the Iconics. I mean, they did win that main event 6-woman tag team match a couple weeks ago. But I feel like, if Asuka's character is not based off of on winning anymore, since she lost one match, then what have we done since to really, make her interesting again for her to get a title opportunity? I honestly felt give her more time to build up build up a new character for her again, and I say maybe have her take that title opportunity at SummerSlam. I'd say she would eventually get it. So as much as I don't fully hate it, but I'm just like, I felt it's too soon. Like Ronda getting her title opportunity, I feel Asuka getting her title opportunity, I feel it's just a little bit too soon, in my honest opinion. So yeah, we Carmelo grabs the belt and just runs off, and then we got Shinsuke Nakamura backstage being asked about his chances tonight. He doesn't know what chances mean or possibility. He says he knows what it means, but Renee is using the wrong word. It's certain that he will win, and AJ Styles will lose with a knee to the face, and another, and another, and another, and another, until his chin is shattered and face is gone. I'll dishonor AJ Styles and take his title. So that's his promo for later on tonight, their match. Let's see here. What do we got in the live chat? Let's see here. It was a Billy Gunn reference, and also a reference to Braun and Alexa at Mixed Match Challenge. Too bad they lost his leg during the entrance. Rusev and Lana should both be face and betray English. Could happen eventually. Also, with 3 favorites to win the men's Money in the Bank was Strowman, Big E, and The Miz. Cass versus Joe, then Joe wins. I mean, maybe Joe does win, or probably, or I'm not sure. Celebration was meh. It was okay, but yeah, it wasn't really too great. Then the 3 for women's were Becky, Charlotte, and Ember Moon. What happens if Ronda won the title? The best thing about the celebration was when it ended. I don't want her as champ. I think Carmel will defend by throwing the match by via DQ or count out or interference. Probably. Very funny, Hassan. Um, um, Jinder winning the Universal Championship. No, not gonna happen. Rollins is supposed to be Lesnar at SummerSlam. That would be awesome. I would mind him pulling both the Universal and IC title. I wouldn't mind that at all. Becky is the Kurt Hawkins of pay-per-view. Don't remind me, man. You're so right about that. Just hope that Becky for once gets just a serious push, not just like a little pity run like she'd had for the last title run she had. I mean, it was good, but it felt like it was just pity for it was a pity run to give her something, and then deleted to absolutely nothing afterwards. I just want to see Becky Lynch to get to. I mean, if she wins Miss Money in the Bank and turns heel, I won't be against that at all. Of course, you got to turn somebody else babyface for the women's division. Well, Lana, if you want to. I mean, I'd be all for that. Because I don't know if you guys know, I may have mentioned this how many times. But Becky Lynch apparently was supposed to turn heel back in 2016. She was the one supposed to turn heel instead of Natalya in that tag match they had at Money in the Bank. But I don't know. I forgot what the reason was behind it. I guess because they thought that Natalya may have been taken off soon because that's around the time where I think Tyson Kidd was about to officially call it a career because of his injury. So she may have been taken off anyway. So I think that's why they turned Natty heel instead of Becky. But apparently they were originally supposed to turn Becky heel instead of Natalya. I don't know that would happen. Dakota says, what if Kurt Hawkins beats Lesnar? I'll think of some, but I'll place a bet on that to see if that would ever happen. Kurt Hawkins beating Lesnar. Oh my goodness. He'll get rid of the IC title and there will be a tournament. Hopefully Sammy will win. Sammy is IC champion. I'd be fine with that. Good stuff, guys. And then we had, this triple threat Money in the Bank qualifying match. Becky Lynch versus Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville. Well, the good news is, again, as we saw last week, Mandy has her own theme song. And Sonya, I think, has the same exact one at NXT. Because I feel like it might have just changed a little bit, but it's not too bad. But the thing I didn't like about Sonya's theme song was that strobe light. Like, that felt too much. Like, what's the point? I mean, when Shinsuke had it, well, before he got his new theme song, I didn't think it was that bad. I felt it fits Shinsuke. But this strobe light for Sonya doesn't fit her at all. Sonya Deville reminds me of someone sparring in a weak sparring match. And I know that because I was in the martial arts for 10 years. She just throws like kick, punch. At least, Ronda Rousey literally was just like, wailing everybody with and having aggressive offense. Sonya just was like, kick, boo, boo. Kick, boo, boo. This isn't a boxing match here, guys. That's why I'm not a big fan of hers in the ring as well. We had a couple, teases of like, Mandy and Sonya, teasing like an implosion between the two of them also, even though it says in Sonya's description that she lives with her best friend Mandy Rose. So I guess one's gonna be moving out after tonight. I don't know, but eventually backfires on both of them. Becky gets the eventual win by getting a disarmer on Mandy Rose and getting her to tap out. So I mean, I don't know, maybe we'll eventually get a pre-show match of, I think Dakota might said last night or so, a pre-show match of Mandy and Sonya eventually, and her was a Mandy Rose turning face. Maybe honestly, then probably Mandy would turn face if she's more over than Sonya at this point. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, Becky's going to Money in the Bank. Let's see. Nothing new in the live chat. Then we had again the advertisement for the 2 Money in the Bank qualifying match next week. We have Samoa Joe on a handicap pro talking about the match and how ambition has made Cass a victim. It's funny they call him big, since the only thing he's really big about is his mouth, and he's dealt with fake tough guys like him his whole life. When it's time to walk through the fire, men like Cass always come up short, and his ambition demands some Money in the Bank briefcase. Iconic dude also got a handicap promo, just doing some word association, writing down London, Lana down, and putting themselves over before declaring the future to be iconic. And then we had the main event. The WWE Champion, AJ Styles, taking on Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, we're getting that match at Money in the Bank, though, right? That is correct. But the winner of this match gets to pick the stipulation for the match at Money in the Bank. So they okay, some type of ruse is gonna happen here. Like maybe they'll both get counted something because my thing was why are we doing this match now? It's like why have the same match on an episode of SmackDown or Raw before the pay per view? You know what I mean? Like I don't like how like they do that. I understand. Yes, you want to have like the winner for the one of the two pick the stipulation for the match. But at the same time, you don't want to have them lose to somebody else. If you do like, let's say, the challenger faces someone, and if the person wins, then the champion gets to pick the stipulation. If the challenger wins, then he gets to pick the stipulation or something like that. I remember they kind of did something like that leading up to Randy Orton and and Seth Rollins match at Extreme Rules in 2015, which that pay-per-view sucked, I remember. And that main event wasn't that great either. Where Orton won, but then Seth Rollins had Kane, lay down for him, take the pin, so that way they could both pick a stipulation, which it was, the RKO being banned, and then the match took place inside a steel cage. Of course, eventually Kane was made the gatekeeper when that match was just a clusterfuck. But anyways, But I thought Orton would beat the clock like some. But having the actual match, it's like last show I said, the feud between New Day and Usos was great. But the only match I didn't like was the match they had on SmackDown Live, where the winners got to pick the stipulation for their match at the Sin City edition of SmackDown Live. I wasn't a fan of that because like you're having the match anyway right now. Why doing it at the pay-per-view? I won't take away. This main event was pretty good. It was a good match. It was, I'd say maybe their best match. I still think either that or the greatest Royal Rumble match was the greatest. I mean, Backlash was pretty good also, but the finish I wasn't a fan. But at least I thought the finish was good quality for the most part. I mean, having a double count out, but like it didn't make anybody look silly. Pretty much, it just kind of like elevated AJ's anger and leaving us, wanting to see more than just beat the crap out of each other. Where Backlash was just a double low blow, and then they both fell down in an ODQ match. That was stupid. But excuse me. But the match ended whenever the referee was knocked over, and then Nakamura started pretending he was kicked in the gut again. So the referee was confused, and then Nakamura took advantage of distraction and got Styles down, and then hit Styles with a Kinshasa knee to the face, as he would say, to get the victory. So it was announced, but Nakamura gets to pick the match. Again, it was a good match. I mean, stipulation for the match in my again. Good match. I'll give it that. I just hate when they do that. They have the champion lose clean, and not just that, but they also have the same match will be in the pay-per-view on a show before that. Because this is we see here. We had WrestleMania, Race Rumble, Backlash. That's the fourth match they've had. Is Money in the Bank going to be it, or are we still going to be going on till SummerSlam with this feud? I don't know. This wasn't a feud that I felt like need to be constant B show matches. Like it could have been here a Money in the Bank match, a SummerSlam match, or something, but. It wasn't that feud that felt away. It felt like, a match that should happen only so often. It felt. That's why, I wasn't a fan of them treating WrestleMania as like a table setting match for the continuous feud in some ways. I don't know. It's just it was just strange. So this feud's definitely been kind of weird. So I don't know if Money in the Bank will be it or not. But Shinsuke won again. I can't complain. The match is good. Just wasn't a fan of how they did this on SmackDown Live. And we're getting a match again in a month anyway at pay-per-view. Doesn't make sense. Yeah. Let's see here. SmackDown Live Women's Division is loaded with heels. They are Shinsuke versus Jeff. Hope Styles retains since Nakamura won tonight. Styles wins Money in the Bank, most likely. That ref counted fast when Nakamura hit the Kinshasa and pinned Styles. This is their best match that we thought, and it was for free. That is true. If WWE gets rid of Shinsuke without ever winning a WWE title, then I will not be happy. In fact, I would buy a WWE game with Shinsuke, make him champ for a long time. Go ahead, man. WWE games are better at booking. I don't have any. I'll take your word for it. Not true. Shinsuke overall says they troll just like WWE, and AJ versus Seth Rollins. Yes, I want. That's probably the next dream match I have for AJ Styles is him and Seth Rollins. I'd say that match is going to be awesome whenever that match happens. Probably next year. Why do they troll? Bring back King of the Ring. As long as they make the winner of the King of the Ring, I actually feel worthwhile. I mean, when was the last King of the Ring I actually felt like they meant something at all? Bad news, Barrett won King of the Ring, and his career went straight into the ground. Well, again, he could have the bad news catchphrase that works. They got a positive response from it. But, you know, Nakamura's only an 88. Still can't believe that for that ref. That was a really fast count. I didn't really pay attention to the fast count. Thinks Money in the Bank will get worse. I don't know. Rewatch, that was like last, probably like how referee Charles Robinson did when Sable won the Great American Bash. Barrett should have won the WWE title. Exactly, Hassan. He definitely should have. But he did, unfortunately, and now he's off doing other things, probably being a lot more successful, which he definitely deserved much better than he got for his run in WWE. Now, I wanted to know, because if you remember in Daniel Bryan's documentary, he mentioned how he wasn't supposed to win Money in the Bank in 2011 because originally they were thinking about having Barrett win the Money in the Bank briefcase, but they thought that since they wanted Del Rio to win the Raw Money in the Bank briefcase, they thought that would be a little too similar with two, you know, villains winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. So that's why instead they put the briefcase on him instead. I wonder what would have happened to Barrett if he would have won Money in the Bank. I wonder if he would have successfully cashed in or not. I would hope he would have, but who knows what would happen. At least, you know, it was a good one for Daniel Bryan. When is your next top 10? Maybe Thursday. Trying to decide which top 10 I'm gonna do. Still trying to decide that, but I'll definitely try to do one this week. Yeah, so I will. Heels always win Money to Bank. I mean, Punk timed heel cashing in on Jeff. Well, I mean, Dean Ambrose won Money in the Bank in 2016, but he wasn't a heel. There was one there. Yeah, Punk was one until he slowly turned heel on Jeff Hardy. Daniel Bryan was technically a babyface when he cashed in Money in the Bank, and he slowly turned heel over the next couple of weeks also. But yeah, most of them do result in heel turns, pretty much. Sheamus was a heel. Corbin, Carmella, Orton turned heel. Yeah, but yeah, pretty much there. Of course, Sandow failed. But yeah. All right, well, I'll leave the live chat just for another minute or so, see if you guys have anything else to say in the live chat. But of course, I will get the poll vote results in from my polls here. So, first, I got one new tweet. It's my reviewer, I think. So, for my poll of what grade would you give these episodes of SmackDown Live, I got 8 votes. 13% said A, 75% said B, nobody said C, 12% said D or lower. And what show did you enjoy more this week, Raw or SmackDown Live? 4 votes, all of them said SmackDown Live. I'm gonna give this episode of SmackDown Live a B- again. There was some stuff that I'm just like about, nothing like, you know, terrible happened on this show, but some stuff was just like could have been better. But I think we still got a solid show. So I'll give it a B-. And of course, no doubt about it, SmackDown Live was a better show. SmackDown's back on top. Raw is just, you know, don't know what the heck's going on with Raw right now. Raw is back to Roman always wins, and I know it's on. It cashed in on a fresh opponent, that is true, and won. Yeah, they're doing the same thing with the heels, like they did the Jinder and Seth, pretty much. But yeah, just typical booking WWE does. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna be it. I'm gonna check out. Thank you to oh yeah, that's right. Cena failed. Yeah, Cena also failed. Forgot about that. Of course, Sandow and Corbin failed. Cena lost Money in the Bank contract even though he won his match, but he won by DQ against Punk with Big Show interfering at Raw 1000. Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, that guy, I think I want to check out here. So thank you to Hassan and Dakota for joining me in a live chat. What grade will you give this episode of a SmackDown Live? And so what shows you enjoy this week, Raw or SmackDown Live? Leave thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure to always click by like and subscribe to come to the channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at TheManAirboy93. Believe that. Again, I'll be live probably tomorrow morning for my live review of 205 Live, and I'll do my live review of NXT sometime tomorrow night also. Thursday or Friday, I will do my next top 10 special, and then just keep a lookout for anything else coming to this channel, and also don't forget to check out my predicted match card for NXT TakeOver Chicago 2 and the Money in the Bank 2018 if you have not done so already. Everybody else in the live chat, B, and that's that. All right, cool. But thank you guys again for joining me in the live chat. I'm checking out. I will see you guys later. Until then, guys, have a great night. Peace out, everybody.